And we are on to the Rift for the most important battle, the race for playoffs.
Only 6 teams will come out of this challenge. Looks like it is a good start for some of the underdog teams.
You can run, guys, but this is our time. I can feel it.
You have no idea. I feel good about this season.
Yes, this will be fun, right? No, that's not nice.
Let me help you.
Come on.
Ouch, ouch.
Executed.
Oh, that is rough for Vitality. Seems like they're out of playoffs contention already.
Wait, is that Torre?
What are you doing here?
I'm scaling. We'll be ready in no time.
Oh! What are you doing here?
The competition's so tight you could walk across it.
We are so untouchable. We had such a great start. We're taking down the best teams. So fierce.
Looks like someone forgot to pay the tax.
Let me go.
Astralis showing some good plays at the end of the split, but unfortunately it's not going to be enough for playoffs.
Looks like G2 are in the area.
Show yourself. Come on, where are you? Are you hiding? Caps, what new trick is this? Show yourself.
I can't really do that now. Not feeling so well.
Oh, it's okay, buddy. We'll settle this in the playoffs.
Wow, impressive performance from Hansa.
Oh, come on. I'm really excited with these festivities.
It looks like Rogue qualified to playoffs, and we have our 6 playoff contenders. Rogue, SK Gaming, Fnatic, Schalke, Mad Lions, and G2.
A summoner has reconnected.
Oh, hi guys. Well, it looks like we have a very promising playoffs ahead of us where each of these teams really stand a chance to take the title. They are really not patient.
I know.
Any minute now.
Welcome back to Berlin, Germany, stage for the LEC Spring Playoffs. We kicked things off with a dramatic series yesterday, and now it is G2 Esports and Schalke 04's turn to step onto the stage as the Kingslayer Schalke look to shock the reigning champions once again. It will not grow old this weekend, and definitely not for the rest of playoffs to see the players back in studio. Welcome to the Analyst Desk. I am Quickshot, joined once again by Crownshot, dialing in today a very special guest, Treatz. Thank you so much for joining us throughout the day.
Thank you. It's exciting to be here. Disappointing series yesterday, but it will be fun today at least.
Well, look, yesterday it was an explosive start to playoffs. Fnatic did manage to take down SK, and we're going to take a look and relive some of what I imagine are painful moments, Treatz. But you spoke to Laure at the end of the show, and we've been talking a lot. What was the mood like for the rest of the team once you got home, and now there's a little bit more time between yesterday and today?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're super disappointed to lose. The series felt super winnable, and the series came down to a lot of small moments that Fnatic just won out by. So we're disappointed, but I think we can also look forward to a really good summer season and a better summer playoffs.
Yeah, definitely looking ahead. I really like the positive outlook. It's part of the reason that I thoroughly enjoy listening to everything that you're saying, and I'm really thankful you're going to be joining us today. While we're still looking at some of the clips on screen, Crownshot, first of all, hello, welcome back. You kicked ass yesterday, thank you. And secondly, talk to me about Upset. He ended up winning Player of the Series. How did you rate his performance?
Yeah, I mean, he played very well, right? Like, he had big leads every game, pretty much, no matter the matchup, and he was playing very well in team fights, so you could see he's a very good caliber of player, yeah.
Treatz, how did it feel to play against Upset? Is it fair to say he dumpstered you?
I think game 3 and 4, definitely they dumpstered us. It was also our fault. But I think game 1 and 2, we were confident, and I think we also had some good games. But yeah, he's a good player, and I think he really showed up yesterday.
Yeah, I don't think I need to flame Treatz within the first minute or two. But we saw some trends, Xayah, Tristana, Kai'Sa. These were picks in the bottom lane that we were expecting. I know Crownshot was talking about it before the show, but did the draft in that lane and then every other lane play out as you expected?
I mean, yeah, honestly, the draft went really expectedly, both for us and Fnatic, I would say. I think we had very similar bot lane meta reads, so there was a lot of Kai'Sa, Xayah trades, a lot of Tristana as well until they started banning it. And I think that trend will also continue for today's games.
Crownshot, what did you make of this bottom lane specifically? We can see the win-loss. I felt like Upset's Kai'Sa was hugely influential yesterday, but as we've talked a little bit more, we've seen some games. Are you expecting things like that to change?
I think today might be pretty similar. I think when Tristana is banned, Kai'Sa has an easier time playing as well in lane and stuff. But G2 does play a bit of different champs, like they play some Jhin, and there was a Neon tweet about some spicy picks. So maybe we'll see some other AD carries today, but I imagine it will be pretty similar, yeah.
Yeah, there's the tweet on your screen. Got some spice prepared for Martin. Martin Reckless, by the way. I don't know if he's Martin 1 or Martin 5. I've lost track, but they're talking about Reckless. Crownshot, do you believe that? Because as a shoutcaster, I'm sick of you players baiting us with these horrible tweets. I'm sick of you trolling Laure and being like, I've got something fun. But like, it so rarely comes to pass. So like, do you actually think this one's real today?
Well, like maybe there's an answer they have, like maybe they could play something like a Jinx or maybe something like this. But I imagine it will be kind of standard, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. You see, you baiting me again. You brought that tweet up.
That's true, but I think it's like a mind game tweet, you know? It's like a good tweet before the game to get some likes, you know, and some exposure.
Do you agree with that, Treatz, as you nodding and laughing away?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely farm some likes on that tweet, I think.
Okay, fair enough. Social clout is important. All right, let's quickly move along. Fnatic will be moving on to the next round, and that means that they will be facing off against the lowest seeded loser from today and tomorrow. When you see the playoff bracket on your screen, G2, Schalke, Rogue, and Mad, whoever loses and has the lowest seed from the regular season will then go into match 4 to face Fnatic. Whoever loses and has the highest seed from today and tomorrow will then be sitting in match number 6. We will be breaking down the playoff bracket throughout the course of the weekend, but just before we move on, as SK have now been eliminated, and we do have Treatz here, for the rest of today, you're now on my team, right? So you'll be analyzing today, helping us understand G2 and Schalke. But I did want to just expand on something you talked about. You know, it was a fairly positive review from SK saying you're looking forward. But, you know, what is the game plan here and what is the goal for you and SK when we look towards summer?
I think in general, we just want to up our individual game a lot. We feel like a lot of games are just decided on these small mechanical factors, and we all feel like we have a really high ceiling. So for summer, we just want to increase the ceiling for every individual, and I think it will just make us a better team overall. It
was definitely a surprise hit. I mean, coming into spring, I wasn't expecting the performance and the teamwork that we've seen from you. I'm going to make something a little uncomfortable for you right now. This camera right here, number 21, I'm going to ask you to look into that camera and just say something to the fans, as there's a lot of people who've really enjoyed and supported your journey through spring.
Yeah, I mean, I would just want to say shortly, thank you very much for the support. There was a lot of fans when I came from NA, and I appreciate all of you and my team as well for all the support and the organization. And there will be a better summer for SK for sure.
That's setting expectations high. I like that. Confidence as well. So I know it's a little awkward, but thank you for that. Thank you, Treatz. I appreciate it.
All good.
The LEC playoffs are well underway. Next week, you can also watch the best ERL teams battle it out in EU Masters. Laura's here to preview the action.
Thank you, Trevor. EU Masters just around the corner, and all of our ERLs at their respective finals this week, including the LFL, where France has crowned a band of new players as our spring champions. If you're not familiar with Karmine Corp yet, you'll discover during the main event that they're one of the most explosive teams we have ever seen in the LFL. This team entered the league this year, and we had no idea what to expect from them. And week after week after week, this mix of experienced and rookie players, supported by the very loud KC Ultras, crushed everyone in the league with an organized, chaotic playstyle that was often compared to G2, in the sense that they are not afraid to take fights, they navigate through the chaos they create, and their top laner is absolutely crazy. Oui, oui, Adam, c'est un gros malade. Now, coming to finals earlier this week, we didn't know what to expect from them. They had never played a best-of-5 series together, and they've been playing from their respective homes during the whole splits, and that is not something you often see with pro teams in 2021. For many, there were no match against the experienced players of Misfits Premier. K-Corp defied all expectations, offering us a very one-sided series while they stayed strong under pressure and committed to every fight they could take to grab an advantage, dismembering Misfits with a crushing and convincing 3-0. These players trust each other, and that translates to creative draft choices and in-game calls. Adam, the rookie prodigy, even flexed with his famous Darius. The LFL is sending a very strong first seed to the EU Masters, and I cannot wait to see what they can do there. But don't get too cocky, Karmine, because you're going to have a lot of serious competition at the EU Masters. Ultraliga will be sending the Talent Factory Ego Rogue, who after a super close series and painful Game 5 against Kick, grabbed their first seed ticket to the EU Masters and third title in the league. Pookie's style was not strong enough this time. Led by Cress, formerly known as Senkox, Ego Rogue came back from a 5k gold deficit and found a good opening that led them to victory. Over in Spain, Superliga with UCAM Esports, where they absolutely dominated their opponents in finals, led by their ADC Rafita, who is the player to watch in this lineup. And finally, Germany with the Prime League and the rise of Berlin International Gaming. This revamped lineup didn't drop a lot of games during the regular season, and they came off really strong in the playoffs. I have my eyes set on their mid laner FLICKR here. He is one of the players, if not the player you should follow during the EU Masters. He has a very complete champion pool and fits his dominant style in lane with the needs of his team. EU Masters kick off Tuesday with the playing stage, and we have a lot of hungry and a massive batch of hungry players actually, and teams you don't want to miss. After all, you'll get to see them in the LEC shortly. So find the match schedule and follow all the action at lolesports.com. Now, Trevor, we have Treatz here, Crownshot on the wall. They used to play each other in EU Masters, right?
They did, and if I remember correctly, Treatz won. Oh, Crownshot! How did that series play out?
Well, it was pretty close. I think it was a 2-1, but I think every game was very close. I remember we were sweating till the end. There was like one team fight. I think I was playing Kaisa and Treatz was playing Trash. That's what I remember.
I absolutely love it. And the thing that's amazing is that you see Crownshot, you see Treatz coming from EU Masters and the ERLs making their way to the LEC. The talents at EU Masters, they continue to join the likes at Larson, Inspired, Humanoid, Kazi, Kaiser. They've already taken steps to the LEC, and I trust Laure's read. Rika, maybe another one. Find out soon. Now, a team that has found huge success by promoting their ERL players to the LEC is Rogue. Tomorrow, they're going to be facing off against Mad Lions. It'll be the final matchup of round number 1. And unfortunately, we're not going to have Crowny or Treatz with us tomorrow. So I wanted to take this opportunity to ask about the second and third best teams from the regular season. Treatz, what's your expectation for this? Who do you favor when we look ahead to tomorrow's game?
I mean, I think both teams are really strong right now. I would give the edge to Rogue just from the way they draft and the way they consistently play. I think Mad Lions definitely have some good moments, but I think Rogue is just a way more consistent team, and I think they will take the tier series pretty easily, honestly.
Wow, okay. So you started quite soft and fair, then you ended up being like, nah, Rogue are going to smash it. Crownshot, do you kind of agree with what Treatz was saying? And then let's focus in on the mid lane matchup. I'm very interested to see what happens with Larson and Humanoid.
I mean, my prediction would be 3-1, but I also think jungle will be super important. I think Inspired, Elyoya, they both... Medlines like to play for Elyoya's advantage a lot, and Inspired is, I think, doing a lot of things for Rogue, right? Dictating a lot of games, so I think mid-jungle will be very important. Maybe combos like Lucian, Lilia will be very contested, but I think Rogue will come out on top, yeah.
And as I've got the bot laners here, Crownshot, talk to me about this bot lane matchup, Kazi and into Hunt Sama, obviously with their supports as well. Like, you know, how heavily favored is this in Rogue's side?
I mean, I can't say exactly how heavily, but I would say there is for sure, it is for sure skewed towards Rogue. I would say Rogue is favored.
Treatz, same question.
Yeah, I mean, I think Rogue's bot lane is more consistent than Mad's bot lane. They definitely showed against us that they had some really bad games, but they also showed against...
I love the grid. You're really proud of that, aren't you?
I mean, you should remember the good games, right? But they've also had some insane games where they pop off, so I think Rogue's consistency in a best of 5 will bring them across the finish line.
All right, well, listen, Crownshot cheated a little bit because normally I was going to ask for predictions. He's already given me his before I could even ask. One day on broadcast, he's already like, I got this. So, Treatz, what is your official prediction for tomorrow's series?
I mean, I want to make it spicier. Crownshot said 3-1, I'm going to say 3-0.
Yeah, there we go. I like this. There we go. 3-1, 3-0 in favor of Rogue. The team that everyone, however, is looking to beat in this playoffs is G2. And today, it's Schalke's turn to challenge the reigning champions.
Undertow, no tower stands here, Whipper going in, Spirit Cleave coming out, there's the Ragnarok, Niski shuffles forward, and the trade comes in, Yankos! Yankos! Yankos, that is disgusting! That is not allowed!
Snaps back, but not where he needs to go. Big fight for G2. Curtain call coming in to leap out to safety. Rogue, oh! Now with a snipe!
Neon takes a gigantic...
Oh, there it is again!
It's again! Oh!
Schalke, we picked them because we believed they were the weakest link.
Magnet Storm doing a huge amount of work as Larson and Hunsama try and get away from BrokenBlade on the chase. Ben Storm, Flash, Hextech, Older Mason, Gideon's still diving onto the back line as Killer Instinct comes out as well, and Neon is on the chase here as BrokenBlade dives in once again. Paranoia, Cannon, flying! The Requiem, Praetor, whatever gods you do, Excel, because immediately they are just deleted off the map.
I know that I will do well against them. I have the drive, I have the motivation to just beat them. I just want to be the best performing player in this series.
G2 have won 4 LEC titles in a row. And now with Reckless in the bottom lane, they have looked even stronger. This is their second best regular season performance ever. And I have been saying for a while, and I think I can say more confidently now, that G2 Esports are the most winningest team in European history. I think they look even more consistent with Reckless, and I think they've overtaken Fnatic. They're a younger org, they've won more in less time, and I think they are the team to beat.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I think the past years has just been G2 dominance. I don't see it ending this year either, honestly. They're insanely strong. I mean, maybe we can take them in summer, you know, but I think spring is going to be hard.
I love that. I really think that's the best attitude to have. And I'm going to go to Crownshot. And I'm going to ask Crowny, I felt like G2 looked more dominant and more scary without even trying as hard. Do you think that's a fair thing to say?
Yeah, I mean, you could say that like the last week they didn't maybe put so much stock into the games because it didn't really matter for their standings. But when they're playing seriously and drafting optimally, they're a very scary team. Yeah.
Now, of course, today, Schalke, they have beaten G2 before. And before today's series, it is going to be a completely new challenge. Because I think picking up wins in the regular season, I think for a team like Schalke that actually has one of the higher win-loss ratios against G2 is amazing. The Miracle team, they've dealt with a lot. Crownshot, what do you think about Schalke's chances today when they face up against G2?
Yeah, I think it's a bit harder to say based on previous games because it's different lineups and different metas and best of 1, while best of 5 is a bit different. So I think they'll have to play with confidence and not be scared to you know, try and fail, but I would still say G2 is heavily favored.
Crowny, do you think the stage is going to help Schalke today? Coming back and, you know, being able to look at G2, I think like Gilius in particular, somebody who kind of thrives under that pressure?
I think it's going to help G2 more. I think they have more experience, and just,
Yeah, I agree with you, Crownshot. I think G2 on stage is a different beast. I think G2 in a playoff series is a different beast. And I think Schalke is going to have a long road ahead if they want to beat them in a best of 5.
Okay, let's start to theorize it, right? I think when we looked at Schalke, they had a very clear identity at the beginning of spring that helped them pick up a number of wins. Then they went on a number of, you know, a long losing streak and needed to go back to the drawing board in the final week of the regular season. So what were some of the things they did in draft to help them get out of that funk?
I think in general, they just started drafting confidently again. I think their confidence dropped a lot after the early season. So as you can see on screen, like they played the Karthus Nocturne GP, right? They also have a lot of strong teamfight comps with Seraphine and stuff like that. And I think that's what they will try to do against G2 as well.
Crownshot, what do you think when you look at this picks and bans and you think about Schalke's spring? And then also when you think about the fact they're facing G2 today, you know, what will they find success with?
I think maybe flexing Seraphine and going for maybe more heavy teamfight comps. Maybe G2 gets a bit overeager some games and throws their leads. I think that's probably their best bet to steal some games today.
Some games, so not a series, right? It's one of those things like, I hate the word cheese. Yeah. This is something you guys may not know, but I hate the word cheese. I think if you pick a surprise draft like the Nocturne, the GP, the Karthus, I think this is great. This is bold, it's brave, right? Yeah. But the word cheese, it implies negative. It implies like a cheap tactic.
Yeah.
But to do that 3 times against a team like G2 is very difficult, isn't it, Treatz?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I agree with Crownshot. I think they can take some games, maybe even 2 if they play really well today. But winning 3 games with this, in parentheses, cheese, is definitely going to be hard for them. I think they will pull out some new stuff, not just the stuff that they've played so far. I think it will be a really exciting series from that perspective.
Okay, so look, let's take a little bit of a closer look at Schalke's preparations. You can take a look at a very special segment that we've done in Euphoria. We follow them throughout an entire day of scrims. Head over to lec.gg/Euphoria. And with a lot of time spent on Schalke, and I think fairly so, as a team that is the underdog, as a team that has to stand up to the 4-time defending champion, let's turn our focus back to G2. And Crownshot, I'm going to ask you to talk to me a little bit about how G2 play around Caps. I feel like this is a player that can do absolutely everything. And he's one of the danger men for G2.
Okay, I guess you had to show this clip, but yeah, I mean, he's very good at setting up his wave in ways where Jankos and Miki can influence it well. If you actually look at his early game wave stats, it's always in a position where then mid can get pressured, and Reckless a lot of times just plays for himself, like very self-sufficiently with like Jhin first picks, right? So Miki can just roam on Blitzcrank, Nautilus, and champions like this, and then they just kind of accelerate Caps so he can start pressuring the map. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think Caps doesn't really put a lot of emphasis on lane, I would say. I think the way he calls for resources and the way the G2 plays around him is just really insane. And when Caps goes to mid game, you know that he will be really powerful, and I think that's something that G2 always plays around. Like Caps' mid lane strength, he will always find advantages on side lane, he will always find picks, and that's how they pick up wins.
So you said this during rehearsal, and it inspired me. I'm going to teach you a quick shoutcaster tip, right? I like some of my numbers. So say to me, Quickshot, how good is Caps in lane?
All right, Quickshot, how good is Caps in lane?
I'm really glad you asked, Treatz, because he's actually not that great statistically speaking. He's only got the 4th highest CSD, the 2nd highest goal difference, the 3rd highest forward percentage, and the 4th highest jungle proximity. Now, the context is what matters. While statistically he's not the best, it's what he's doing for his team. See, look at this teamwork, right? These players, they know how to pass. Last time Schalke beat G2 was off the back of a huge Aatrox game from BrokenBlade. Laure is checking in with him before today's series. That was awesome. Nice one.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Trevor, and thank you, the top father, Bibi, for joining me today. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Glad to have you back in the studio. You're going to face G2 today, you know that? I mean, you beat them before in the regular season, but I think that best of 5 is a different scenario, especially when facing off against G2. People often say that they look stronger in this format. Would you agree with that? And yeah, what's your take on Schalke's ability to take them down today?
I think that in playoffs, anything can happen, actually. no matter how good you are and how bad you are. I've talked from experience because I have reverse sweep people back in the day. I got reverse sweep as well, and today it could just be such a day, you know. But I'm feeling actually I woke up feeling very, very good. I feel like I'm gonna win today. You know, if I wouldn't feel like that, that would actually be a very bad sign. But we have beaten them before, and I think we can do it again, and we can do it 3 times today. And I'm just confident in my team, and yeah.
Love hearing all this confidence, honestly, because when you think about G2, people often say that to beat them, you have to surprise them. There's this double approach, actually. Either surprise them or just fully play your game. Don't focus on what they're throwing at you. What's your take on that when you think about G2 as a team?
I think we came in here very, very prepared. We have some good drafts. I think Dylan has made his research, made his preparations. We have all been playing really well in practice, and I'm confident. And also, I think G2 has a lot of surprises as well. They have so many talented players on their roster, and I think the coaching staff is doing good work too. Yeah. So it's going to be. I think it's all about momentum in the series. That's usually how playoff games go, and hopefully we'll pick up the momentum fast.
Yeah, I heard Neon saying earlier on Twitter that he has some tricks up his sleeves prepared for Martin on the bot lane. But I mean, you have to have some tricks prepared as well against Wanderer, because this guy played 12 unique champions during the regular season. He didn't even focus on Aatrox, who was one of the top picks. I think it's going to be an interesting matchup against you. What's your take on Wanderer as a player and his style, how he plays in lane?
Actually, I think Wanderer is definitely one of the best in the league, coming to his role. But that also goes for me. I'm one of the best, and I've also played a lot of unique champs as Wanderer, and I think I can perform on each and every one of those champs. And especially against G2, actually, I have performed very well on Aatrox, but there was only one champ that I played on those two games. And today I might, take out some more champs. I have some champs actually that I haven't played in my pocket still that I might show today. We'll see how the drafts are going to go. And yeah, I'm just very excited to play.
I like this. Looking forward to seeing you guys on the Rift. Off-topic question, but I mean, we have you in the LEC. We have Treatz on the broadcast today. Niski played yesterday with Fnatic. That's a lot of successful imports from NA in the LEC. Yeah, I mean, we've all just been very, very good for a long time, and it's good that we are kind of back in the EU, and we still show that we're here and we're good, So it's definitely a great feeling. It's a fulfilling feeling, and I just want to perform, Great to have you in Europe, BrokenBlade. Thank you so much for the interview. Good luck today against G2. And back to you, Trevor.
Thank you so much, Laure. Thank you, BrokenBlade. That was a fantastic interview. We've only got 2.5 minutes left. I do want to break down this NA import discussion a little later because some of the NA names, they are really popping off. But I want to push us along to quickly talk about a few other players, and I'm going to start with Limit. Now, Crownshot, you might be asking, why is Trevor talking about Limit? Well, he's done a great job of killing you, like many times, right? And we're going to see this in a moment or two. But, Crownshot, why is Limit so important to Schalke?
Well, since I played with him for a year, right, and I noticed he's not afraid to engage, and he's always very creative with flanks and looking for opportunities. He's also, he's a guy you can talk to about the game and criticize, and he won't take it very personally, so... But yeah, moving on, cut the clip. I think it's just the meta right now as well. Like, support has a lot of engage, so you kind of need your supports to be always looking for creative engages, and he is a type of player to do that. So he will be key today for sure if they want to beat G2.
I mean, Treatz, when we were watching that Alistair clip onto Crownie's Tristana, you just lit up with a gigantic grin, right? As somebody who's very well respected for his engages, and knowing that, Limit is going to have to look down Mickey and Reckless today, what advice would you give that duo lane?
I mean, in general, I think Limit has showed a lot of promise. He plays like me, where he plays not scared at all to go in, and he always looks for engages. So I think, in general, they should just keep doing what they're doing so far in the split and just look for a lot of aggressive fights on bot side. I think in general, Reckless and Mickey don't really play a lot for the fights in bot side. So I think if Schalke is really aggressive there, they can actually get some good advantages.
Going to be very difficult to do. The man on your screen now wearing the G2 jersey. Just before we head off, I am going to ask for predictions. We may have enough time for the graphic. I'm not quite sure. We'll find out in a moment. Yes, we do. So who is first up? I have to wait for the graphic. Sorry, Treatz. Who will win and what score?
I think G2 is going to take the series, and I think it's going to be a 3-1.
3-1. Crownshot, same question.
Yep, 3-1 G2.
Wow, I'm surprised. I was expecting 3-0. Discord, the reveal is 3-0. So fans at home are predicting the 3-0. Crowny and Treatz believe the picks and bans, the quote-unquote cheese, is where Schalke can do it. Let's see if they can, because for the past 2 years, Reckless has watched G2 dominate in the playoffs. Today, he's wearing their jersey on stage as they take on Schalke 04.